Welcome to Game Soup. It's a game design podcast where we throw ideas in the pot and see what's cooking. I'm Chloe Montgomery.
And I'm Kayla Dice. I'm putting so much more effort onto it every week, and I don't know why. I'm also now like,
as we say it.
Like, I need the listener to realize that what you should imagine me doing is a spotlight hits me, I've turned around, and I go, and I'm Kayla Dice. Like, I don't know, I'm hosting a reality show, I guess, is the energy I'm bringing. Just to this.
Yes.
I'll be sedate again.
How's your week been then, Kay?
It's been good. I've been doing... I've been guesting appearances. I updated Terminal, that was cool. You're in there now. I got a really lovely message from one of the Stretch Goal writers as well, who said they were super happy seeing the finished thing. I continue to experiment with my recording setup for this podcast. This week I'm at my desk, but I've moved the big armchair to be where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Because long-time viewers of the podcast may remember that in the early days, there was a lot of squeaking from my chair. So I've stopped using it, but I keep exploring with different things. I've recorded from bed. I've recorded from the armchair, but at an angle, holding the mic like I'm speaking. Now I've moved the armchair here, and that's what I'm trying this week.
Meanwhile, I just have a desk that I sit at every week.
Well, I also have a desk, but my chair is noisy. The desk is not the problem. The chair is the problem.
Well, listen, I've bought a new microphone that'll be on the pod next week. Why don't you get yourself a new chair? Come on, we're all investing into this podcast now.
Oh, but I was about to make a joke like, if it's for the podcast, could I get it as tax deductible? And then I'm like, actually, I'd probably be able to get it as tax deductible anyway. It would be a desk chair for writing.
Yeah.
It's a good point. I had to buy a big trolley to transport books for Dragon Meat, and I claimed that as tax deductible, but I do use it to do my shopping now, which I think I'm not supposed to.
Listen, it's business shopping. It keeps the
If
staff
HMRC want to come for me, they're going to have to listen to every episode of Game Soup to find where I said this. Yeah. And I'll take those lessons.
This podcast is not admissible as evidence.
Yeah, I think I should say that, like, 30% of what I say on the podcast is sarcastic. Which 30 court of law listening to this as Exhibit B? Who knows? Wink.
Well, I didn't ask anybody for words. So let's use the list from last week.
Yeah, we do also still have we could travel back in time to Dragon Meat one week.
Nah. It's done and dusted.
Okay, yeah, in the past.
The dragon is slain. Yes, before we get in the kitchen, I've written a draft of a game that was previously known as Mice: The Burrowing. And it's now called Mouth Quest! ! Got to keep that punctuation in there. So yeah, look forward to that eventually. Thinking I might do a little Kickstarter for it.
It's really nice. What I've seen of the initial game, it's really cute and fun, and I think really gets at like the heart of what kind of stuff you like about little animal burrower stories and the sort of family stuff there. I like how both of the games we've taken from the pod to the Google Doc, we've decided we didn't like our initial names that much.
Listen, maybe we should retire the names.
I'm on board with the names when they exist, but I guess we could, for some of them, just call them Untitled X Game.
Yeah.
Give them more working titles. To be fair, I think the other side of the coin is a good name. I just gradually decided I wanted a better one. Yeah. Mouse the Lending was shoddy work.
Pretty... yeah, it's...
I think it was our third game of that episode, so we were in the loopy state. But yeah, that is also very exciting.
Yeah, so look forward to that.
Mouse Quest. Game Soup is going to be tinned and flooding into stores near you.
Is it tinned or is it flooding? Which one?
Well, it'll be tinned, but it will flood the shelves.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, I have a word.
I've got the random word generator.
Our first word this week, I'm going to take it straight from the trending topics on Twitter. It's conscription.
Jeez. I'm fascinated by what we come up with the word, because I'm gonna... Sometimes I change based on what you say if I'm like, this is a weird conflux. This one time I'm not. I'm gonna see what we get. Pharmacy. Pharmacy
Okay.
and conscription.
I'm thinking something about Boots can't get enough pharmacists, so you've been conscripted into the Boots army. Other pharmacists are available. And it's like Papers, Please, and you got to work out if this person is allowed their medicine, etc.
Yeah.
But also, you don't have any of the training necessary to work that out.
Yeah, I wondered if there's something about, like, what if instead of a prescription for medication, you had a conscription? Like...
You have to serve the army for like 2 hours to get your estrogen every month.
Or is there something about, like, they're just sent, like, everyone gets conscripted certain meds in this world, and if you want meds you need, you have to find someone with that conscription. Because it might be, you know, like, oh yeah, my friend Stevie, who's actually, like, very neurotypical, got conscripted ADHD meds, but also they have diabetes and but they didn't get that conscription and they could do with, like, a swap. So it's all about organizing traits?
I feel like this is 2 steps away from porn. But also 2 steps away from horror. So who could say?
I need an elaboration of why is it 2 steps away from porn?
Something about force femming. You get conscripted estrogen, you don't need it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fair. I mean, we've always been saying we need... I say we. You have always been saying we need more horny, kinky games. Maybe the pharmacy conscription, we should just make a force femme game.
I don't know how that plays, though.
Oh, that is true.
It's like, I once had this idea for a game about, like, in the real world they work out how to scan people's, like, D&D alignments, and everyone with, like, an evil alignment gets immediately put in prison. Or, like, it's some, like, young adult novel 9 districts and everyone's in their own alignment district or some shit. The reason I bring this up is because my brain is like, what if this is like an ABO thing, like an Omegaverse, and like you get in your conscription for your heat suppressants or whatever.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't ultimately know enough about the Omegaverse to pitch much use on this game.
Listen, I don't think this is going anywhere.
Yes. I like the conversation we've explored. I don't think we've come up with game ideas via it.
No.
Should we go back to drawing board, or should we go back to your Papers, Please pharmacy war?
But if you have any ideas for that, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like if we're doing it as Papers, Please, the sort of interesting thing ultimately is that, like, the game's system and the reward in terms of doing well at a pharmacy is probably by being stingy and very sort of means-testy, but, like, the people you're interacting with are very much making, you know, the story there is making the case of, like, no, ultimately you need medicine to be sort of freely available. So I feel like maybe it's a game that starts in a sort of Papers, Please-esque way of, like, you have these sort of series of tasks, you're ticking off these clocks, but is about... I feel like it's a game which has to incentivize you at some point to go, let's break the rules of the game and do something else. And whether that breaking the rules of the game is overthrowing the medical industrial complex, or whether it's just becoming a grey market chemist.
Yeah, I mean, like, in Papers, Please, there is, like, different plot lines depending on if, like, you let certain people into the country even if they don't have the right passport, or, like, you disallow certain people in who have all the right paperwork.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe you can, like, slip somebody some under-the-counter drugs, and maybe you get a punishment, but it's like, how many punishments can you sort of deal with while also helping the people who need the help?
I feel it's like a clock management game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, you know, how much can you be helping before the clock that's like, you get court-martialed by the pharmacy?
Yeah.
I hate to get court-martialed. Yeah, you get like the fucking pharmacy tribunal. I feel like, yeah, we really need to lean into the thing of the pharmacy as the military now. But yeah, that clock fails and that's a fail state. You could work on like under the ground clocks about like just becoming a grey market dealer fully, and meeting, I don't know, the fucking DIY underground.
Yeah.
And then there are also clocks about like if you get a promotion or stuff. Yeah, I feel it's like project rolling, like you know in Blades, like building a project. It's that downtime phase ripped out and expanded into a whole game.
Yeah.
I
think, yeah, you get maybe like a deck of cards that have different patients and what they need or whatever.
Yeah, maybe there's stuff about like, if you approve this, it fills this much in this clock. If you decline this, it fills up this much in this clock. Other stuff is more like, you roll, how well do you do at this project? How does that play out?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's either solo as a journaling game, or multiplayer as like a storytelling game about one character. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh yeah, no one has characters, they're all just telling this story together.
Yeah, I think like maybe one person could play it as the pharmacist, and then other people could be like people coming in to get whatever they need, or like filling in other roles, so you have little roleplay scenes.
Yeah. Alright, so if you're anti-naming, now we could just call this Untitled Pharmacy Game.
I think like the Pharmaceutical Core or something.
Yeah.
Or something like Big Red Plus, so we get the Geneva Conventions on us.
So think about Big Pharma.
There you go.
Big Pharma. For some reason, even though this character is not, my mind just went to Big Pharma versus Big Pharma.
Right, that's the game.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, and I guess we've also... This is a thing where, like, the title is not justified by anything except art direction, where loads of characters are farmers. And that's how it justifies it, but when people actually dig into the game, they're like, it did not earn this title.
No, Big Pharma versus Big Pharma. It's a second game about a farmer who gets some experimental medicine that turns him into a 50-foot tall farmer. He's got a pitchfork that's the same size as well. And he's got to destroy pharmaceutical companies somehow.
I feel this is probably a Lasers and Feelings hack.
Yeah.
You have two stats, Big and Pharma.
No, I was going to say farmer and farmer, but...
Oh yeah, because it is the experimental drugs, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some rollable tables for, like, antagonists who are pharmaceutical. Okay, we've got two games. We've got Big Pharma versus Big Pharma, and...
It's got to be clear, which one is first? Is it the livestock farmer or the medicine farmer?
I think the livestock farmer gets first billing.
Yeah, okay.
He gets the Godzilla spot.
Yeah. And this is like a one-page shitpost RPG.
Yeah, 1 page, 5 page at best.
Yeah.
I was going to actually 8 page at best, because that's literally just like fucking 2 folded sheets. You know, gets you 8 page including cover. That's 2 folded sheets.
Yeah, okay.
That would be the max. I don't think it needs that much, but like that would be the max.
Really big tables.
Yeah, that's if you go ham on tables for ideas.
A really big picture. You get a 2-page spread of this farmer.
And then I guess the pharmaceutical core is probably actually like longer because it's got a lot of stuff around like cards and management. And I guess like I guess you also probably then write a bunch of in-fiction stuff on how the pharmacy became the army.
Yeah.
In the Pharmy!
We've done
That's
it.
the name!
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's PHAMR. Yeah, In the Pharmy and Big Pharma versus Big Pharma. 2 games, 15 fucking minutes, we're on fire.
Do we even want to go for a third one? Do we want to ruin it?
I feel we go back to the board. We've shown 2 ways you can take the same ingredients and get some delicious kind of recipes. It's in the same way that you can make apple crumble and apple pie with many of the same things.
Yes. I don't know what the fuck's happening on Twitter, because now National Service is trending.
I feel these are related. I guess I'll find out afterwards. I guess we're making jokes about this on the podcast, so we go on. And it's like, oh yeah, Keir Starmer has committed Labour to bringing back National Service when they, if they get in power.
Must be an election, yeah.
Or it's
cool.
just,
so I'm just going to take another one from trending topics. I'm in the mood.
Yeah, I like the idea.
I'm going with snake.
I had one word there which I thought was interesting, but I don't think combos well with snake.
Oh, what was it? Come on.
It was dish, which I find.
Yeah, snake eater. Come on.
Huh? Snake
Metal
eater.
Gear Solid
Actually,
3.
yeah. And what I was thinking, the reason I was tempted by dish as a word is because I like the fact that, like, yeah, there's dish the noun.
Yeah.
A dish of food. But also, there's dish the verb.
Dish
gossip.
girl.
Yeah, diss. Are you
Yeah.
gonna diss? Do you have any gossip you can share, just the 2 of us?
I don't even get gossip. I don't hang out with enough people to have gossip.
I feel like, not as a form of gossip, but okay, I definitely said the sentence once to someone, because we'd been talking about situations that were just depressing in the world, and like, I really need to find any kind of conversational topic to jump off this. Anything interesting happened with you? And I was like, the only thing interesting with me is giving you an update on my love life, which feels weird and self-absorbed. And then she was like, no, I'd love that. Let's go for it. Whose girlfriend I?
People want to know.
So is this a gossipy snake, or is this a snake cook?
I mean, my head is thinking it's like that one video game, Snake Pass, where you control a snake with the different buttons on the controller, but you have to be a cook. So you have to, like, wind your body around like a wooden spoon to stir the pot without falling in.
Snake Ratatouille.
Yeah. But there's no human involved.
Yeah, you're not controlling a human, but I think maybe you have a human colleague.
Yeah, that's just a video game, though, so...
But now I'm thinking of this idea of, like, where, like, the application is, like, how do you do specific stuff? And I guess my weird suggestion here is it, like, semi sort of, some mini games that, like, involve a level of skill that's not... I think, like, mini games that involve a lot of toys. I want to create a game that is so impossible to play remotely.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you've got dice stacking as one mechanic, probably, for one of these mini games. You fucking, like, level up some dominoes and use a D20 as a bowling ball for another one.
Okay.
Other kind of things where it's like, oh yeah, this involves dice, and it's just really hard to do anything with. Fucking curling with D20s.
Isn't that just bowling again?
No, because curling's you got to get... Or bowls, not bowling, where, like, you've got to get close to
Oh,
the
yeah,
target.
you've got to get it close.
I don't know how any of these relate to cooking is the thing, but...
See, you saying about Dish, like, after we kind of went off the plot about that being a video game, I was thinking, like, well, what if you have a snake in a kitchen or something? And, like, people come to you with, like, gossip, and you've got to share this gossip with other people, but you can't share it with people in a way that will get back to the person it's about. So
what the book is a series of kitchens, probably, where you've mapped out all of the relationships of, like, the relevant people. Like, oh, these are these chefs. they're fucking each other, they're exes, this is this frequent customer who is owed a lot of money by this head chef.
Yeah.
And you do that for 5 different kitchens all over the world or stuff. And so...
Yeah.
Is this a solo game, or is it a...
I think this is maybe like a board game where you've got to like somehow get dirt on the head chef or the manager of each place to get a promotion to the next restaurant. And it's like competitive to like get this dirt, but like other people can get dirt on you from other cooks in the kitchen to like put you down in the rankings or whatever.
So you're multiple snakes.
I think maybe there's like
maybe
like
snake is a metaphor
because you're bitchy. Yeah.
Because I was like, increasingly this game doesn't make sense for you to be a snake kid.
I think it's like animals in a kitchen or something.
Yeah, that
Animal
works.
people.
That can work. Though also maybe it's just a snake that you're bitchy. But
Yeah.
Yeah, animal kitchen. I feel we solve our animal problems a lot of the time by just going, it's a furry world.
Yeah, but like snakes works as a metaphor.
It does. But I'm just saying, like, we go to furry world a lot for people who
what?
who are mostly who I'm not. Are you?
I have a Diasona. What's your point?
But I'm just like, I think that's just we go there a lot, and ironically enough, for not being so into that.
I don't know. I've just written a game about mice people.
That's true, but that feels in a different way than a furry way.
Yeah, it's not just animal people. It doesn't necessarily mean furry. Anyway.
Yeah, I was trying to just avoid thinking of whatever the other. There's not like a generic phrase for any kind of animal people, but yeah.
Anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah, we go to anthropomorphic animals a lot to solve our problems. You can cut the whole furry thing if you want and just go from me saying we go to anthropomorphic animals a lot to solve our problems.
I think shouting shouldn't be cut.
Shouting?
Yeah, it was shouting at each other.
Yeah. So you're snakes, and other people are not snakes. You're looking for gossip. I feel like maybe this is almost like murder mystery game stuff in a box.
Yeah, maybe like you get a bunch of information about some characters and all of the information about your character.
Yeah.
You've got to like try and work out all the information about somebody to like work out who's doing something or something.
Yeah, either by asking other people because you don't always have the same set of information about them, or just trying to have like conversations. I think this is maybe a LARP.
Yeah, like a party
LARP in a
box
box.
LARP game.
It's a LARP in a box. And so, do we include accessories in the box?
I don't think you need to. Just get people to do fancy dress.
Yeah, but I'm like, I think this game you do need to be doing fancy dress if we're saying you're animals. I think you've not played the game right if you've not dressed up as a snake.
I think like I'm trying to think of like a pun for the name, and my brain is sticking on snakes in the class. So maybe you're all like in a school or something.
Or
I don't think it has to be like animal people. Like the board game version, it's all animal people, but the LARP, I don't know if it has to be.
Yeah, there it can be snakes as a metaphor. I was gonna say if we're sticking with like the kitchen thing, something about like poison in the soup.
Well, we'll put a pin in it.
Oh, maybe just poison berries.
Poison berries?
Yeah. In nature. Oh,
I don't think it's going anywhere, hon.
Fair. Untitled Snake Dish Game. I said once, I hate when I am feeling really insecure about myself. Or, like, really mad at myself. And I sum up an insecurity in, like, a pithy expression, because then I'm like, that's going to stay in my head forever.
Did you just do that?
No, I did, but it reminded me of once where I once said, I think I'm the poison berries of people. I'm really pretty to look at, but harmful to be let in. And I'm like, that's...
And you're really important to the ending of the first Hunger Games.
But I'm like, I was like, I hate that I've put that in a memorable phrase.
Yeesh.
We are at 27.
Yeah.
Do you want to go again?
I'm just going to call it.
Collider? Call it? Call it? Ooh,
Thank you for listening to Game Soup.
Oh, this is it? This is the end? We're going out? We're going out
Yeah, I'm just going to cut it out you saying berries or something.